Hi, I'm Omar Christidis, founder and CEO of Arabnet, and you're watching Be Change. You have to look at what is the brand and what is the activation that they're trying to do.
Right.
For a lot of fashion and luxury, Pinterest is actually doing really well because it allows a visual interface and people love seeing those objects. For news and media, it's often Twitter because today Twitter is being seen as a kind of a content platform. For your FMCG brands, I think that they're looking for reach, and so they often go to Facebook. Because that's going to provide the biggest reach to the largest number of consumers. I think all of them today are giving you a huge ability to really target the kinds of customers that you're looking for, especially when you look at Facebook. This is one of the key benefits of that platform. So I think really depends on the kind of activation as well that you want to do.
Do you think Facebook has got it right with this Facebook advertising, with all the interest you can put in? Do you think that's the way forward? Do you think that's the end for now, for a while? Or are they going to go ahead really soon, do you think?
No, I do think that it is the right way forward. For us, even as a small business, and funny enough, I ask sometimes, I do sessions for small businesses, and I ask, what platform do you market on? And one of the top platforms for SMEs is Facebook. So it's easy to use, it delivers on results. We regularly are using Facebook for our campaigns to reach out to our audiences. And of course, this has become more important when Facebook stopped being an organic reach platform and became an only paid platform. So while we have built, like many brands, a large following, today we can't talk to them without paying. And so I call them rented audiences, right? These are, you still have to pay, but at least you've got a primed audience who wants to listen to your news.
Exactly, yeah.
So, I think that content shouldn't live in one place anymore, right? So whenever you're creating a piece of content as a publisher, you should think about how you can take that same piece of content and repackage it across multiple platforms. You've researched and written an article about a specific trend, take some of the key insights and statistics and turn them into visual posts for Facebook, 140 character posts for Twitter. Look at what you can do. Maybe you can publish them as a small white paper, right? Expand on it and actually do it in print or turn it into a flyer, or you can't think about content living in one place anymore, and that's the key.
Line is vanity, bottom line is sanity. Cash flow is reality. What is insanity?
I think that we can, top line, bottom line.
Cash flow.
Right, so this is a tweet by Omar Christidis, right? For me, what's interesting about this, we can get taken away by growing the top line, or for your listeners, that revenues, right? And without looking closely at our bottom line, we can think we're building a really, really successful business by just growing revenue. But if we're growing costs faster than we're growing revenues, that magically increasing top line is actually not delivering on a successful business, right? So the reason why that quote is interesting for me, it's about unit economics. You have to think about every incremental thing that I'm doing. Is it growing my top line more than it is growing my cost? Am I starting to make marginal revenue on this marginal sale? That's what's really key. So top line, insanity, I don't know about that, but potentially illusion, right? Not sufficient information for you to understand how well a business is doing. Bottom line is certainly reality, but doesn't tell the full story of the growth potential of the business. Cash flow, I mean, that is, there's a famous saying, cash flow is more important than your mother, right? Cash flow is what startups live and die by. Cash flow shuts companies down, and if you're not aware of where the cash is moving and how you may find yourself with an inability to pay key suppliers and staff. So that is the number that you should watch most clearly.
Great. Cash flow drives insanity.
Yes.
Pretty much, okay.
Privacy, massive in the Middle East. Less so in Dubai because of the large expat population. But if you look at the region's biggest markets, especially Saudi Arabia, privacy is a key concern for them. So I think that's one important thing. Video, we love video in the region. We have been one of the largest consumers of video, Saudi Arabia, one of the largest per capita consumers of video content globally. So any platform that really understands how to leverage and deliver mobile video is going to win out. Product discovery, we love to shop. So I think that we're seeing that trend, for example, in Instagram heavily across the region. We have a lot of shops that have popped up from ladies that are kind of curating their favorite objects and selling them, whether directly themselves or endorsing other brands and being paid for those endorsements. But yeah, I think privacy is probably the most important concern for the traditional Arab consumer.
Cool.
Personally, I am not buying the Apple Watch, mostly because the past 2 smartwatches that I've owned, I've showered with them and I'm really bad at charging devices. So it's not a really great, compelling reason why not to buy it.
Right.
I think wearables have yet to, the jury's still out on wearables. We're not 100%, although the Apple Watch is selling hugely, and I know so many people who are buying it or have bought it. I don't wear a watch, don't know if it's the right platform for me, so I'm holding off on this purchase.
For now.
To see, for now.
Yeah.
I'm not an early adopter on this one. I am an early adopter on the Amazon Echo, for example, and that's a different story altogether. That's a kind of a Siri on steroids, if you will. It's a device that has an AI in it. It's a speaker that includes Amazon's basically intelligent response system. So for me, the interesting thing about that is, one, you don't actually have to have it charged for it to be listening to you constantly.
Right.
And 2, it's always there and people can be using it dynamically. I think that's going to change the game in terms of smart assistants.
Right.
So on-demand smart assistant, that's going to be huge.
All right, lastly.